Hey, Zips fans, Spencer German of the Zips Digital Network here with another one of our weekly check-ins with our coaches. This week, we are joined by Brian Peresie, head coach of Akron Women's Swimming and Diving. Coach, I know it's been a while since we last talked. Just let everybody know how you're holding up. I know we talked a little bit here before we got started. Your hair's getting a little long. That's why you got the hat on.
Oh yeah,
Or the visor. But how's everything else going?
no, always the visor. The hair, it needs a trim. So hoping I can get that done here soon. Maybe this week. We'll see. But every time I check and try to do the online check-in, it's like 120-minute plus wait. So I know they've been lining up here. I've even seen it when I've driven by. They're lined up outside, like 10 deep with masks on. And I just don't have time to do that. So been holding up well. Family's doing well. Got Emily. She's a saint. She's been doing a great job. I think we've been working together pretty well with the homeschooling, which ends this week. So we're excited about that. Braden, he's 13, and Blake is 10, and they're pretty much done with their homeschooling stuff. Bennett has a few more days. He's 7, and then Braxton is 2, and he just kind of he hangs out and plays and pretends to make coffee and pretends to do the dishes and runs around in his underwear and screams a lot. But that's our life. So, but holding up. Really want to get out of this. Would love to be back into somewhat of a normal routine. I was thinking about it today. I was like, do I even remember how to coach? I haven't been on a full deck in 10 weeks. How do I do that? I wonder if I'll remember how that works. Cause right now I'm not sure. It's just been so long. But yeah, no, we're holding up well, and just like everyone else, slowly, hoping things start moving.
Have you developed any new hobbies or anything while you've been home?
Hobbies. Well, I started eating a lot more. That happened.
Don't we all?
I really think I knew that in the back of my mind for a while, and about a week and a half ago, I realized that I had been. So we're going back to work-life eating habits. I'm not doing what we've been doing before, but besides that, hanging out with the kids a lot more, than I've normally been able to do, which has been great. Really just cleaning up the yard a little bit, and then we've got a fire pit in the back, and there's nothing boys want to do more than burn stuff. So, if burning things is a hobby, that's one of them. Taught them how to whittle sticks, so that was fun. Emily was a little nervous when I gave them all knives, and they were just kind of, hacking away at the sticks, but nobody got cut. So, it worked out really well. And then besides that, no, I don't know that I've had any new hobbies. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, I've been there myself as a younger Spencer with the outdoor stuff. So I get it for sure. I guess the next thing we'll sort of turn to more of the serious side of it in terms of just the situation at hand and how it affected you and your team. I guess to start off, just how difficult was it when this all came down, especially knowing the time of the season that you guys were in? I mean, you had gotten through the bulk of your season. You'd already finished MAC, but, you had NCAA championships and other, tournaments to sort of round out the season awaiting. Just how difficult was it to, have that conversation with your team and have to tell them, hey, this thing's getting cut short?
I don't know that it was difficult. It was just unique. We were in the postseason, and I had traveled with the divers to NCAA zone championships. So I was in Kentucky with them. And then Hannah and Ian, they were at the National Invitational Championship up in Cleveland. And I remember sitting in my hotel room when the NBA canceled basketball. And I was just like, all right, things just got real serious. And this is going to really – I started thinking that we weren't going to get through the next day. And sure enough, being there at diving zones, as the day was going on and, precautions were, being met, that competition, we could be at 1/3 capacity for spectators. At the National Invitational, they had no spectators. So, I think everybody saw that this was a unique situation, and it's really out of your control. And I think that our team has done a good job of focusing on what they can control, and not worrying too much about what they can't control, because this was out of everybody's control. And I know at the zone meet, Cammie was she had made finals, so she was in the finals, and there was 6 rounds in the finals, and after the second round, they ended the meet right then and there. And so I've never been, I mean, it was just like, crazy, what do you do? So, everybody's in the same situation. It's not, you could say it's unfair, but it's not unfair. It's fair. It's what happened. It's just the situation. And then at the National Invitational Championship, I think because that competition is outside the NCAA, they let them finish that final session. So, the team knew that was going to be the last session when they went into that Friday or Thursday evening. And, they knew they had opportunity to win the competition. And so they did. So we ended up winning the National Invitational Championship with a little asterisk of day one. But we'll take it. They gave us the hardware. So we're excited about it.
Yeah, there you go. No, that's a good way to obviously sort of go out in a situation that obviously was out of your control. And yeah, I mean, I think that moment, as you mentioned, working in sports as we do, when the NBA canceled the season, I think that was all sort of the realization moment for us of, okay, this is a little more serious than maybe we thought it was initially going to be. I think most of all, you obviously got a feel for the seniors. You got a solid group of them like usual this year. Jackie Pash, Mackenzie Vargas, Morgan Wagner, Jessica Peresie, and on the diving side, Caitlin Applin. Just what did those ladies mean to your team, and what has it been like to coach and work with them over the last few years?
Did you get all of them? I was trying to count to make sure. 6 of them, right? You got all 6?
I think.
Did I hear Ellie?
I think I might have missed her.
All right, Ellie, Nebraska. Yeah. No, they're a great group. They were a great group when they came in as freshmen. They bonded really well together, and I think they're great leaders on the team. They accepted the situation, and I don't feel like they felt burned or like something was taken away from them. I mean, yes, it was, but at the same time, we were getting down towards that last part of the season, and their lives are moving on. I mean, Ellie, for example, she's actually closing on a house today, and she's engaged and set to get married this summer. Some of the others have, they've got jobs lined up or going to grad school. So they're at that point in their lives where they really enjoyed their career at Akron. They really had a great experience. Their Zips blue and gold it just bleeds through their veins. They're proud to be Zips and proud that they're came to Akron, and now they're moving on. So I think that they've been able to handle this really well as well. And one of the things I like to bring up from time to time with the squad is the teams that handle adversity the best are the ones that do the best. And this isn't any different in real life than it is in sport. And so I try to train them to not everything's in your control, and if you enter into a situation that's adverse, know that others are in that as well, and the ones that handle it the best are going to do the best. And I think that they've been doing that.
Yeah, no, obviously each year I know you have a very unique group of seniors that serve as leaders to your team, and you obviously do a good job instilling that in them, because you never know how things are going to change during a meet or if something's going to happen, and just sort of adjust on the fly. I think that's a theme commonly, and obviously in swimming and diving, but also in across the board with sports. So it's good to obviously be prepared for those types of things. All that said, you mentioned obviously the National Invitational victory with at least day one. But prior to that, you guys did get a chance to go out on a high note with the 6th consecutive MAC championship as well. Just how special is it from a standpoint of doing that from both watching the ladies be able to compete and do that, and for them to take that home with them and wear that as, a badge of honor to continue that tradition that you guys have sort of put together, but also for you as a coach to be part of just an unprecedented accomplishment like that. Because obviously, we take a lot of pride at Akron in the fact that, with our teams that go out and do stuff like that, and you guys have been as consistent as they come. So just how special has it been to be a part of that, watch the ladies compete and win, and then from your standpoint, be able to be sort of, overseeing this and part of it as well?
Right. Well, first, Spencer, it was number 7. Okay. So just, you shortchanged just a little bit. All right. I hate to call you out on that because I know this is going to be out there forever, but it was 7. So, that's, that competition, it's special. There's a great atmosphere there. There's a lot of energy. I enjoy the competition that we have. We have some great coaches and some great teams in this conference. It's really an honor to be able to compete against them. I think we've got great camaraderie. And the team, this is one of our goals every year, is we want to be on top. And, I think that, they accepted that challenge. I think Buffalo, they made things a little bit closer than they had the past couple of years. That was really exciting to watch our team come together and be like, no, we're gonna keep doing what we do, and we're not gonna worry about anybody else, and we're gonna let the score take care of itself, and wherever the score is at the end, then that's great. But we know going in that if everyone on the team, if they do their best, then we're gonna be the best that we can be as a team, and so that's really what we want to focus on, and not really try to focus on that end result. Of course, it's a goal. But if everybody does what they're supposed to do and everybody is at their best, then we're going to be really, really tough to beat.
Yeah. And obviously you guys seem to always put it together this time of year. I apologize for shortchanging you. I had 6 down on the sheet, and I should have known better.
You're forgiven. You're forgiven.
Obviously by now you guys would be wrapped up with the season. You'd be in off-season training mode at this point, but little unusual to given the circumstances. How have you guys sort of been handling that with the ladies and getting them sort of still being able to stay in shape? I know you mentioned you're eating a lot more. I'm sure they're trying to avoid doing the same thing. So just what's the challenge of doing that when they don't have access, obviously, to the facilities that they normally do?
Well, part of it's taking my own advice and controlling what I can control. And, they're all going to make their own decisions. And, I trust that they're going to make good decisions, and, try to reach out or, find out if anybody needs help with anything. Everyone's situation's a little bit different as well. So, for right now, for example, Sophia, she's home in Sweden. And if you follow the news, Sweden, they never closed anything. So the moment she went home after everything shut down here, they've been in full training. She's had competitions within her club, and they're actually going to do a virtual national championship here. I know Paulina, she's in Poland, and she's part of their national team group, and they started training camp last week. So they got back in the water, and they're doing their thing. Others, though, some people are training in a backyard pool if they have one, and then others haven't been able to touch water at all. So, everybody's a little bit different. Some people have weight rooms, some people don't. So, we send them out workouts that they can do at home, workouts that they can do in a weight room if they have one, and give them that guide. And when we talk, some people, they do them. Some people have been doing some things a little bit differently, or they modify, because they don't want to sit around either. They're used to being very active. So they're doing that, and I trust that they're doing that. And again, this is out of our control, and I think it's unique because, with swimming, there tends to be very few breaks from the water, let alone 10 weeks, which is where we are right now. And it could be up to 20 weeks. Usually that doesn't happen unless you have an injury or something. So, but we've also, there's plenty of examples of young men and young women that have had injuries, and they've come back and done great things. So, I think we're in a good spot, and I think that they're doing everything that they can do. We challenge them to try to learn some new skills, maybe focus on things that they wouldn't focus on they can get a little bit more flexible in their ankles over this time while they're at home, then that could translate back into the water and help them to have more power when they're kicking. So, there's some little things like that, but really just trying to communicate, keep it light, and, check in with everyone, make sure that, if they have any questions about what's going on, then, we answer them and help them as best we can.
All right, Coach, we'll end on this. Just aside from, as we talked about earlier, you're getting a haircut. What's one thing, as obviously things in here in Ohio are opening back up and we're starting to sort of get back to some sense of normalcy a little bit. What's one thing that you're really just itching to do and get back to do?
Hey, I want to get back on the pool deck. I mean, that's it. That's where my heart is.
You miss the smell of that chlorine. You just can't
smell the chlorine. That's right. Walking up and down, being loud, goofy, whatever. I mean, I just want to get back to that environment as soon as possible.
Well, hopefully we will be able to do that soon. I know talking about trying to get us back in the office shortly. So I hope we're all back, can see you soon and catch up a little bit more. But obviously I'm glad to hear that you and your family are staying safe, staying well, along with your team as well. So Coach, thanks for the time as always. And hope we get to see you soon.
Thanks, Spencer. Take care.
Thanks for watching. And as always, you can follow along with all things Akron swimming and diving and all things Akron athletics over at GoZips.com. Thanks for watching again. And as always, go Zips.
Go Zips.